Welcome to Jazz Sessions, the show that celebrates jazz from the classics to the contemporary. I'm your host, Tim Lewis. It's my pleasure to share with you music from some of jazz's masters, past and present. Tonight, we're featuring songs from the 2012 Junos, Canada's Music Awards. Tonight, we're featuring piano jazz. Tonight, we're featuring jazz duos. Tonight, we're focusing on the present with a selection of tunes from some of my favorite contemporary female jazz vocalists. Tonight, we are featuring cool jazz. If you're a new listener to jazz, my job is to try and provide you with the opportunity to learn about the musicians and enjoy the music. For those jazz aficionados out there, I'm hoping to share the familiar as well as dig for those hidden gems in a genre that is ever changing. As a songwriter, a jazz singer, and a jazz pianist myself, I'm able to bring my perspective to the music both from a writer's and a performer's view, and it's my privilege to do so. Sophie Millman on Jazz Sessions, here on the Grand at 92.9 with Take Love Easy. This is just a curveball for you guys tonight. This is Curtis Stigers with I Can't Stand Losing You, entitled Something Else, recorded in 1958 for Blue Note in Hackensack, New Jersey. Being from New Jersey, I got my nose broken in Hackensack, New Jersey. There you go. That's a story for another show. One of these signature sounds on this kind Ouch. That was one guy. That was the Art Tatum. Hand independence so severe that he was actually accused of using a second piano player on his recordings. If you think you recognize the opening riff to the song, it might be because an artist named George Ivan Morrison, better known as Van Morrison, borrowed it for a song you might know as Moondance. Here it is, Kenny Burrell, Midnight Blue on Jazz Sessions. They described as jazz with a global twist. I just love compilation CDs because you never know what you're going to find. It's the buried tracks that are the real gems. Monk's spare and calculated melodies and carefully chosen notes, as well as his placement of silence, which he treated as part of the melody, make for songs that have a deceptive simplicity. This CD actually makes me laugh as I drop it on the ground. It makes me laugh. The interplay, the humor, you get to hear clinking glasses and crowd reactions as these two guys have an absolutely wonderful time on stage. So, with no further ado, Benny Green and Russell Malone with a song called Wabash on Jazz Sessions. You go ahead and start without me and enjoy while I pick up the CD case from the floor. Well, next up on Sessions is the legendary pianist Kenny Barron, who I actually had the privilege of studying under. The deal was he squeezed in an extra lesson early in the morning for me if I promised to bring coffee for every lesson, and I did. I always brought the coffee, sat outside the office, and he'd come in, and we sat at two grand pianos right next to each other. Of course, I have nothing recorded because as a kid, just not thinking, and I wish I had. But there you go. But there are plenty of Kenny Barron recordings to listen to. This is Kenny Barron with a song called You Don't Know What Love Is. We're going to start it off there, and some say this is where the scene started, either with Lester Young or possibly with this album, Birth of the Cool. So here is Miles Davis. This is when he recorded for Capitol before he went to Columbia. Birth of the Cool recordings were considered a major innovation in jazz. That's not the last time that would happen with Miles Davis. So here is Venus de Milo on Jazz Sessions. Never thought I'd call CDs the old school version, but here it is. So we're going to kick things off tonight. Take a little trip, La Mer. Canada's own Chantel Chamberlain off her 2008 CD, The Other Woman. Jazz Sessions here on. Duos are one of my favorite combos to listen to, and as a musician to play. Even if it's a song you've played a million times, playing with a different artist on a different instrument changes how you interpret a piece. So let's get to it. So the track I've chosen was actually a Bill Evans original. This is Waltz for Debbie, a song for any dad who has a daughter who he's not ready to watch grow up. A small jazz combo starring the jazz singer Dianne Reeves was hired to record the soundtrack to the movie Good Night and Good Luck. The 2005 movie was nominated for 6 Academy Awards. The CD won a Grammy in 2005 for Diane's Best Jazz Vocal Performance. So here is Dianne Reeves singing the Cole Porter song, I've Got My Eyes on You, on Jazz Sessions. In a day that you can download anything from anywhere, it's still nice to hold a CD that was, well, in this case, born in Brazil. And so that's what I'm holding in my hand now. I'm fortunate enough to do a lot of traveling. Some of my favorite CDs, I bought some great music while I was in Switzerland and in Eastern Europe. And you might have CDs like that when you went on a trip to an island and had that one little tropical CD you bought that still brings back warm memories. Subdued and understated, with names like Lester Young, Miles Davis, Chet Baker, and Jerry Mulligan, among others. Extremely economical and melodic in his playing, we're going to feature a song that just drips cool. This is Dave Brubeck with a song called Audrey, here on Jazz Sessions. I just love how those live albums just kind of stop short when you only play one song and don't play the whole album. Birth of the Cool here on Jazz Sessions. And that's what we're talking about tonight, the cool jazz scene. That light and sophisticated sound, in this case, emphasis on arrangement and texture, almost classical in the way they arranged that. And Jerry Mulligan, the saxophone player, wrote 5 songs on that collection. So last week, I was going to play some Molly Johnson, had the CD ready to go, opened up the box, the jewel case, and found my Hank Jones CD. Got so excited that unfortunately Molly Johnson got bumped off the program, and I played the Hank Jones CD. So, as a penance, and sticking with our female jazz contemporary vocalists, I'm going to play Molly Johnson that I meant to play last week, and this is from her Messing Around CD, 2006 CD, and here's a song called Let's Waste Some Time Together, here on Jazz Sessions. Joey DeFrancesco.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joey. I did not expect him to say that. I'll remember April, keeping with our April theme. Lee Konitz with Jerry Mulligan, the applause says it all. We are almost out of time. I had many more songs to play. I had more stories to tell. I had pages upon pages of notes that I took about the whole cool jazz West Coast scene. I was ready to get right into it, and yet we are out of time. So we'll have to pick this up another time. How about next week? I'll be here, and I hope you will too. Here on Jazz Sessions, my name is Tim Lewis, and on a personal note, I just want to say happy birthday. Today is my son Satch's birthday. And yes, you have to be a jazz musician to name your son Satch. So, Satchel, happy birthday. And if you're listening, you should be in bed by now. It's bedtime. There you go. But we'll continue this next time. I would love to hear your feedback. You can get in touch with me. And I really think it takes a fantastic bass player to groove. Hear that, all the bass players that I work with out there? That's how much respect I have for you and respect that I have for Jody. So this is going to take us into the break. When we come back, we're going to feature more of the jazz vocalists from the 2012 Juno Awards, as well as we're going to keep with our April theme. We'll see if I can find some more April songs, and also have a couple more surprises for you, including a little medley of some jazz Bruce Springsteen tunes. Yes, you heard me right, some jazz versions of Bruce Springsteen tunes. So all of this in 1 hour. It's really difficult to pull this off, but I'm going to do it. I have a feeling we can make it. So here's a double shot of Bruce Springsteen. I don't think anyone's ever said that on a jazz show. I'd love to hear from you about show ideas, about song requests. Keep them coming in. Jazz sessions wouldn't be successful if it wasn't for you guys listening and sending in what you want to hear. Well, I'm actually running out of time before I'm running out of music to play and things to say. But I do want to thank you for joining me. Hope you've enjoyed this hour as much as I have. I'll be back again next week, and hope you will too here on Jazz Sessions. Thank you guys for listening. I'm out of time. Tim Lewis saying thanks. Have a great weekend, and I apologize for my butchering of the French language.